Jey Uso threatens solo Sikoa. Vince McMahon was forced to admit making a bad decision. WWE's previous plans to split Roman Reigns' titles leak. Why is WWE pushing for longer title reigns? Roman Reigns' Hollywood lookalike reacts to comparisons. New Bloodline member incoming. Let's jump right into it. Vince McMahon was forced to admit making a bad decision. Hall of Famer Mick Foley shared that former WWE CEO Vince McMahon once admitted he was wrong about an ECW one-night stand match in 2006. Foley collaborated with Edge and Lita to defeat Terry Funk, Tommy Dreamer, and Beulah McGillicuddy during that event. The match was as vicious and bloody as the Hammerstein Ballroom fans had hoped. Edge and Foley tried to keep it clean, but everything broke loose when Dreamer and Funk ran beneath the ring to get a barbed wire board. According to Foley, Vince McMahon told him he was wrong about the match based on his initial perceptions that it would be awful and not satisfy WWE fans. On the latest episode of Foley's Pod, the three-time WWE champion recollected a story where Vince McMahon admitted being wrong about his impression that made Mick Foley feel like Indiana Jones. This is the takeaway from the match I was in at ECW One Night Stand 2006. The next day, I go into Vince's. I go, Vince. He goes, got Mick. He goes, all right, I was wrong. I said, and it was very good. It was very good. And then I walked out of the office and I realized that in his world, this was just another cog in the wheel. I almost felt like Indiana Jones in, well, he wasn't there, but when you see that the Lost Ark is just one in thousands of artifacts. It's being filed away, probably never to be seen again. I know, think Vince McMahon is giving this match a second thought, Foley said. During the same interview, the former world champion stated that he put on an outstanding match because he felt Tommy Dreamer and Terry Funk deserved to be put over. The WWE Hall of Famer explained that he could have sought a top performer and made more money, but you believe Dreamer deserved the attention and wanted to recognize Terry Funk for his contributions to wrestling. So I'm glad I went to bat with an unusual match. Yeah, I would have made a lot more money if I just randomly attacked a top guy with no explanation whatsoever, but I really wanted to tell the story. I thought Tommy deserved that spotlight, and I thought people should be reminded about what Terry Funk had done for the business, Foley added. Mick Foley telling stories about Vince McMahon acknowledging he was wrong is quite extraordinary. Indeed, WWE superstars have had different dynamics with Vince McMahon back in the day compared to the current era. Did you think Foley, Edge, and Lita had a great match at the ECW event? Sound off in the comments section below. WWE's previous plans to split Roman Reigns' titles leak. Roman Reigns has been the undisputed WWE Universal Champion for a very long time now. During his reign, there were times when fans wanted the titles to be split so that both brands would have a world championship, and a recent report has indicated that there were plans for that to happen. Fightful Select noted that the plan to unify the WWE and Universal Championships came up when Roman Reigns was sidelined due to COVID-19 ahead of the WWE Day 1 Premium live event in 2022. This led to a reshuffling of plans as Brock Lesnar was added to the main event, where he became the new world champion after defeating Big E, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins. The Beast Incarnate square off against the Tribal Chief at WrestleMania 38 in a title unification match where the latter came out on top. The Fightful report further noted that there were internal plans last summer to have the titles separated again by WrestleMania 39, but that did not lead anywhere. The report stated that the Universal and WWE Championship histories will be separate, but the latter title's history will be continued once Roman Reigns loses the championship. Paul Heyman is an instrumental part of the Bloodline story, and he has played a huge role in Roman Reigns' rise to the top. In a recent interview on Busted Open, current AEW star Mark Henry stated that Paul Heyman could end up destroying the Bloodline. Yeah, I'd rather see the tag. Maybe Solo comes to his senses. Maybe he sees his brother's blood and Jimmy or Jey is saying, don't do it, man. You see the spike about to happen, and he says, don't do it. That's your brother. And Roman is like, I'm your tribal chief, but that's your brother, man. Don't do it. And the struggle between the two. He continued, Paul Heyman rarely ever puts his hands into harm's way, but this is the time Heyman does something. Even Roman could look at him like, what the hell? And he goes, I did this for you, my tribal chief. The story just keeps going, Henry added. The Bloodline story has seen a lot of development over the last few weeks, and it is anybody's guess as to what lies ahead for Roman Reigns and company. Why is WWE pushing for longer title reigns? WB has witnessed a lot of changes ever since Triple H became the company's chief content officer. The gang has even given due attention to the mid-card titles. Under Triple H's watchful eye, Gunther became the longest reigning intercontinental champion of the modern era. The Reign General's incredible run with the Workman's title has led to widespread praise from fans and peers alike. It is possible that Triple H and his team could be trying to restore the credibility and prestige of the title by booking him and other top champions for longer title reigns. Gunther won the Intercontinental Championship from Ricochet on the June 10, 2022 episode of Friday Night SmackDown. The Austrian Brute successfully defended the title against the likes of Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Mustafa Ali, to name just a few. The Raw superstar recently crossed a full year as Intercontinental Champion. He is less than 100 days away from surpassing Honky Tonk Man's record for the longest Intercontinental Championship reign in Vince McMahon's promotion. The Hall of Famer's title reign stands at 454 days. As of now, Gunther is expected to surpass Honky Tonk's man reign. Imperium's main man must hold onto the title until September 7, 2023. His next title defense is likely to take place at Money in the Bank 2023. Roman Reigns was one of the 3 men who have had year-long title reigns with 2 different championships before Gunther arrived and made it 4. The Tribal Chief surpassed a full year with the WWE Championship in April 2023, with him recently crossing 365 days with the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther joined Roman Reigns and 2 other performers on the list. Imperium's main man previously held the NXT UK Championship for a record 870 days. It remains to be seen when fans will see the next showdown for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. What's your take on this story? Let us know in the comments section below. Roman Reigns' Hollywood lookalike reacts to comparisons. Roman Reigns is often compared to a big Hollywood celebrity. Fans believe there's some sort of resemblance between the 2 stars because of their hair, muscular body, and tattoos. Both also happen to be proud carries in the Polynesian culture. So how did Roman Reigns' Hollywood lookalike react to the comparisons? The star in question is none other than Jason Momoa. During an interview with Chris Van Vliet, the Aquaman star was asked if he gets told about his comparisons to the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. This was his response: "I've had it a couple of times. I haven't had the honor of meeting him yet." Fans might recall a clip of Roman reacting to Jason Momoa comparison. The Tribal Chief was wrestling at a WWE house show when a fan told him he loved him in Aquaman. Roman heard the fan and came back with the following reply: "Come on now, that movie would have made way more money if I was in it." It remains to be seen if the cameras will ever catch Reigns and Momoa interacting with each other. The Tribal Chief is no stranger to bathing in the glorious spotlight of Hollywood. He had a cameo in Fast and Furious spin-off Hobbs and Shaw. Reigns joined his cousin The Rock for an action-packed sequence in the 2019 blockbuster. There are rumors that Roman will leave for Hollywood once he gets done with WWE, though he himself hasn't confirmed nor denied any of this. The Tribal Chief will return to SmackDown this Friday to continue the Bloodline's Civil War storyline. It remains to be seen what twists and turns will take place in the family saga scene next. Do you think Roman Reigns will leave WWE for Hollywood in the near future? Let us know in the comments section below. New Bloodline member incoming. The Bloodline could get another member as WWE fans are speculating about the arrival of a new member in the Inoue family. Former WWE superstar Naomi, known as Trinity in Impact Wrestling, recently took to Twitter to post some photos with her husband Jey Uso. The photos and caption now have several fans speculating that the 2 are expecting their first child together. Naomi last competed in WWE in May 2022 before walking out on the 16th of the month. She joined Impact Wrestling in April 2023, months after confirming that she had left WWE. Meanwhile, Jey Uso was working with the Bloodline for several months before he decided to go against Roman Reigns. He betrayed the Tribal Chief at Night of Champions 2023, and it will be interesting to see what the future holds for him on SmackDown. Naomi recently took to Twitter to post a few photos of herself and her husband Jimmy. The photos were accompanied by the following lyrics from Selena's hit song Dreaming of You. "Late at night, when all the world is sleeping, I stay up and think of you, and I wish on a star. That's somewhere you were thinking of me too." Many fans started speculating that the 2 stars were expecting their first child together. Naomi did not shoot down the speculations as she posted a gift to keep fans guessing. Naomi and Jey Uso met during their time in WWE. After dating for some time, they were married in Maui on January 16, 2014. Naomi is the stepmother to Jimmy's 2 daughters. Fans have been waiting to hear some personal good news from the couple for some time. Carmella and Alexa Bliss recently revealed that they are expecting their first child. The Glow could enter the list sooner she is indeed expecting her first child with Jey Uso. One of the biggest news stories of the year was Sami Zayn's betrayal of Roman Reigns. However, Jey Uso's betrayal of the Tribal Chief comes a close second on the list. Jimmy hit Reigns with a super kick after being frustrated with the Tribal Chief. His actions led to his ouster from the Bloodline soon after. Following the betrayal, Naomi took to her Instagram story to react to her husband's action. She noted that the Bloodline should count their days because Jimmy has had enough. "Oh, it's a wrap when he gets like this. Count all days," wrote the former SmackDown Women's Champion. The future of the Bloodline hangs in the balance as Jimmy's brother Jey Uso has a tough decision to make. It will be interesting to see whether he continues working alongside Roman Reigns or joins his brother to reform the Usos outside the faction. If you want to see Naomi and Jey Uso add another member to the Bloodline, sound sound off in the comments section below. Jey Uso threatens Solo Sikoa. Jey Uso had a stern warning for Solo Sikoa after an altercation between the two on WWE SmackDown. The former tag team champion has been in a tough place since Jimmy Uso betrayed Roman Reigns at Night of Champions. With Jimmy no longer a part of the Bloodline, Jey has been facing the decision to choose sides between his family. The younger twin was slated to announce his decision on this week's edition of the Blue Brand. However, his stance is unclear as his United States Championship match against Austin Theory was disrupted by Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, which left him more frustrated. Jey also had an altercation with Sikoa earlier on the show as he was unhappy with the enforcer for raising his hands on Jimmy. It seems like the tension between the two has not cooled down as Main Event Jey recently posted a picture of their confrontation on Instagram, sending a clear message to his younger brother with the caption, "Don't make me get you," wrote Jey. While Jey Uso and Solo Sikoa are bounded by blood, the duo could soon stand across from each other inside the squared circle. The enforcer proved his loyalty to Roman Reigns on SmackDown last week when he took out Jimmy Uso with Samoan Spike. However, it's still unclear whose side Jey is on. It has been recently reported that WWE is planning another tag team match for Roman Reigns, with the Tribal Chief joining forces with Solo Sikoa to take on the Usos, looking like the obvious choice. If that's the case, one can expect Main Event Jey to stick with his twin brother. Reigns will be returning to WWE programming next week on SmackDown. The Tribal Chief was not present on the show last Friday, but was seemingly pulling the strings from afar as Paul Heyman told Jey that Roman was grooming him to be the next Tribal Chief. Solo's interference in the main event also made Jey Uso frustrated with Jimmy, which could push him towards aligning with the Bloodline.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted.